sediments. Now, when we think about sedimentary rocks, they have a lot of common features. The most obvious one is called bedding. Okay, that's the thin layers. So, guys, when you looked at the shale and you looked at the sandstone, you can see those layers in the rock. So that's your bedding, just simple layers. Then we have this thing called graded bedding. And graded bedding is basically what you have right here. So I'm going to try something I can never get to work right, but we're going to try and zoom in. There we go. What do you notice about that? What do you notice about those sediments? Okay, what else do you notice? What do you notice about their sizes? Cody? How do they change? Well, so let's say we're going from the bottom up. So we start out here at the bottom. How big are these? Yeah, these are pretty large, right? And as you move up, what happens to their sizes? Smaller. That's basically what we have right here. Graded bedding, where you have really large sediments, and then as you move up, they get finer and finer and finer. If you look at this piece in particular, what do you notice about the fact that about their sizes? It repeats. This typically happens in a river environment. And with that, what's happening, you can kind of see that again up here in this image, where we have this open spire, and then also we were right back here to bigger pebbles again. So this is basically going to be a type of environment where you might have seasonal flows, where you have this really, really heavy rush of water, and then over time, what happens to that velocity? Okay, think about rivers in Africa during the wet season. A lot of rain all at once, so really heavy flowing waters, which means we move to really big boulders. But what's going to happen is that as the year progresses, what happens to that water? It goes down. So therefore we have less water to flow, so our velocity slows down, so we get finer and finer and finer particles. And then, wet season starts again, we get another rush of water. And so that's basically graded bedding, where it's basically sorted based on particle sizes. The other thing I want to point out with graded bedding that's kind of interesting is that, and you can see it in the one that's coming around, if you look at this figure here on the right, you notice it has these pebbles that are all slanted in the same direction. Okay, that's the water literally angling the pebbles, one on top of the other, and in the same direction. This allows you to predict what direction the current was moving. So again, when we look at rocks, there's a lot we can take out of that environment based on what we're seeing. So when we look at the rocks, we can say, well, this at one time had to have been an area that had seasonal flows. And we can tell that because of the graded bedding. One of the things that is indicative of that. One of the other things I thought was really neat is this thing called cross bedding. And cross bedding is when you get non-parallel layers. You can see that again right here. We have this layer coming down, that layer going up. So that's cross bedding. And cross bedding typically is going to take place where you have a lot of sand dunes. So let's say we're down here in our region and we find sandstone that has cross bedding. What does that tell us? Yeah, it had been sand dunes. All right, so which type of environments do we find sand dunes? Warm. What'd you say? Dry? Not always dry. Okay, so we can have the coastal areas. Where else can we have them? Sometimes mountains. more like a desert. You know, we think about places like the Middle East. So a lot of times those can come from deserts as well. So that allows us to make predictions about our past environment. And that's what geologists do when they look at the rocks. They learn to tell the story of the history of the area based on what they see. This is a picture I took. What do you see? How about that?
Layers.
Okay, what else do you see?
Dirt. Grass, trees, people.
What's right here?
Where a river used to be.
There. Well done. Yes. In fact, that river flows right through here. So what this actually was at one time, that was the riverbank.
Where is that?
This is in Arizona by Sedona. And you can see the red color. Right? Sedona is known for the red rocks, which is high levels of iron. So this is kind of neat. And then one of the other things that was kind of neat with this is that you can also have, I'm not sure if I got a picture of it, sometimes in the fossilized, especially in sandstone, you can get fossilized ripples. So that's kind of neat as well.